Making headlines this hour, Vice President praises King Charles III of the United Kingdom for his leadership in promoting international cooperation. Homeland Minister emphasizes the vital role of newly trained police officers in combating serious crime and ensuring public safety in line with public expectations. And Health Minister expresses growing concern over the increasing prevalence of mental illnesses, particularly among the youth and working age population, alongside a sharp rise in non-communicable diseases.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif praises King Charles III of the United Kingdom for his leadership in promoting international cooperation. He made these remarks at the official reception hosted by the British High Commission in Male to celebrate the birthday of King Charles III. In his address, the Vice President highlighted King Charles III's long-standing commitment to environmental protection, sustainable development, and the preservation of cultural heritage, noting that these values strongly resonate with the Maldives. He added that the King's leadership has fostered a sense of collective responsibility and encouraged international cooperation in addressing environmental challenges. The Vice President noted that this year marks the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Maldives and the United Kingdom. He stated that the partnership, rooted in sustainable development and cultural preservation, has been further strengthened through recent high-level engagements. These include President Dr. Mohamed Muizz's visit to the United Kingdom, the President's private audience with the King, and the Vice President's meeting with the King at the 27th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting last year, underscoring the importance both nations attach to their bilateral relationship. The Vice President concluded by reaffirming the government's commitment to strengthening cooperation with the United Kingdom in support of shared prosperity, security, and sustainable development. Minister of Homeland Security and Technology Ali Ihsan emphasizes the vital role in newly trained police officers in combating serious crime and ensuring public safety in line with public expectations.
Addressing graduates of the 41st Police Basic Training Program, the minister highlighted the government's four-pillar national security policy, stressing that effective policing is not limited to law enforcement alone, but must also foster a strong sense of security within communities. Minister Ihsan outlined key national security priorities, including eliminating the drug epidemic, dismantling organized criminal gangs, addressing illegal immigration, and protecting young people from criminal involvement. He urged officers to demonstrate full commitment to these objectives, stating that partial solutions would not deliver lasting results. He also called for strategic deployment of police personnel in high-risk areas, underscoring that safeguarding public safety is a shared national responsibility. The minister further issued a firm warning against corruption, advising officers to reject bribery and all forms of unethical conduct. During his address, Minister Ihsan announced plans to expand police services to more than 140 islands within the year. He revealed that 967 officers who previously lacked formal training have now completed their basic police training, with the remaining officers expected to join a new training batch in January. Congratulating the graduates, the minister noted a historic milestone for the police service, with the first female officer achieving the highest rank in the basic training program, marking progress towards greater inclusivity and excellence within the force.
Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammad Saeed says the Maldives can overcome major challenges in its export and import sector by modernizing its main commercial port with the same ambition that transformed Velana International Airport or VIA. The minister's remarks reflect a key pillar of the government strategy to accelerate economic growth through large-scale infrastructure development.
Speaking at a ceremony marking a port management training program conducted in collaboration with UN Trade and Development and Maldives Ports Limited MPL, Economic Minister Said outlined a comprehensive roadmap for the ports sector. He confirmed that a central component of the plan is the long-anticipated relocation of the congested Male commercial harbour to the industrial island of Tilafushi. The proposed 60-hectare port development is a $250 million project designed to provide a long-term, sustainable solution for the country's trade and logistics needs. Minister Said stressed the urgent need for expansion, noting that while container handling capacity has increased from 30,000 TEUs in 2000 to 100,000 TEUs today, the physical size of the port has not kept pace with rapid growth in tourism and the wider economy. He added that development efforts will extend beyond the capital, with plans to establish smaller satellite ports across the country and develop 2 major commercial ports in the northern and southern regions to enhance nationwide connectivity. Linking port development to the cost and availability of essential goods, Minister Said said improving capacity and efficiency is critical to ensuring basic food items are readily available and fairly distributed even to the smallest islands. He said strengthening the main commercial port would play a vital role in driving broader economic resilience and national development.
Commissioner of Police Ismail Naveen urges new police officers to prioritize the safety and security of the public, serve with fairness, courage, and dedication, and uphold the integrity of the police uniform. He made the appeal at the graduation ceremony marking the completion of the 41st Basic Training Course for Maldives Police Service. In his address, the commissioner highlighted that policing is a challenging and responsible job, calling it a national duty. He described the police uniform as a symbol of trust and justice and stressed the importance of bravery, strength, determination, and fairness in police work. A total of 185 students completed the course, including 107 male and 78 female students. The training, held in Addu City, covered physical fitness, operational safety and tactics, laws and regulations, and practical policing skills. For the first time in the course's 41 batches, a female officer, Imsha Abdul Latif, was named the best all-round student and received the Commissioner's Excellence Award. Noting this achievement, the Commissioner said it marks a historic moment for Maldives Police Service. Awards were also presented for Best Indoor and Outdoor Students, as well as squad performance. The Minister of Health, Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim, expresses growing concern over the increasing prevalence of mental illnesses, particularly among the youth and working age population, alongside a sharp rise in non-communicable diseases or NCDs.
Speaking at the closing ceremony for the first Universal Health Coverage UHC Forum held in the Maldives, the minister emphasized the urgent need for inclusive, quality healthcare to address these challenges. Minister Nazim highlighted that while the Maldives has made significant strides in maternal and child health and the eradication of certain communicable diseases, NCDs now account for 84% of the deaths in the country. He stressed the continued reliance on external sources for treating such conditions, underscoring the necessity of strengthening local healthcare infrastructure. Additionally, he warned that climate change is exacerbating health risks, impacting food security, mental health, and overall well-being. To combat these issues, the government is drafting a 2026 to 2030 roadmap for achieving UHC, prioritizing primary healthcare expansion and specialized services such as cancer screening and a national mental health helpline. Under President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's leadership, efforts are also underway to expand air ambulance services and enhance urban and tertiary healthcare facilities. The forum underscored UHC as a critical component of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), aiming to ensure equitable, accessible healthcare for all Maldivians. The proposed strategies align with global best practices while addressing local challenges including healthcare digitization.
Public Service Media, or PSM, launches a social media content creation workshop for employees of the Ministry of Cities, Local Government and Public Works. The two-day training aims to teach ministry employees digital content creation skills to better communicate the ministry's work to the public. Employees from all departments of the ministry are attending the training. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Minister Adam Sharif Umar emphasized the importance of conveying the ministry's work to the public and said the training will enhance employees' contributions and facilitate service delivery, while PSM's Managing Director Ahmed Shakib highlighted that sharing ministry work publicly encourages employees and gathers public feedback. He assured that PSM is ready to provide technical assistance to other ministries if required. These sessions are conducted by PSM Newsroom and PSM's Maldives Media Institute. The Elections Commission of Maldives announces that training for officials assigned to the upcoming Local Council and Women's Development Committee elections will begin on the 10th of January, reflecting its priority of securing qualified personnel to staff polling stations nationwide. Abdul Rahman Salah Rashid, the Commission's Vice President, said that while about 3,700 applications have been received, a total of 7,000 officials is required to administer the vote effectively. Recruitment efforts are continuing to close this gap, with the Commission aiming to complete all training by 27th of March, following the certification of training staff. Specialized role-specific instruction is planned across every inhabited island. Applicants must be at least 18 years of age and are barred from holding senior leadership positions within political parties. The deadline for applications is the 21st of December. Compensation will be tiered according to responsibility, ranging from $64.85 for reserve officials to $188.06 for polling station chiefs. Allowances for meals and overtime will supplement these payments. The local council election is scheduled for the 4th of April. Insights into international business. The chairman of telecom heavyweight NTT told Reuters in an interview says Japan needs to take a niche approach to chip manufacturing rather than trying to compete on scale and price as it aims to revive its once mighty chip industry.
NTT is one of the number of major Japanese corporations invested in Rapidus, the government-backed chip maker that plans to start mass production of advanced semiconductors in 2027. Set up in 2022, Rapidus is central to the government's $65 billion plan to boost chip and artificial intelligence industries that was unveiled last year. Reuters reported last week Japan's top three banks plan to lend around $12.9 billion to Rapidus. In the 1980s, Japan was one of the world's most dominant players in chips, a position it has since ceded to rivals in South Korea. Japan's industry lost its competitive edge by chasing low-cost, high-volume production, something it needs to avoid this time around, NTT's John Sawada said in an interview last week. Japan's plan to revive its chip industry is in tandem with Washington's drive to ensure stability of the chip supply chain in response to China's rapid advances in technology. NTT would like to see Rapidus adopt its IOWN technology, which uses light to transmit data and is faster and consumes less power than standard technology, Sawada said. Sawada, who chaired the Japan-US Business Council until October, said US President Donald Trump's policy also has positives for Japan. While there has been much hand-wringing in Japan about U.S. tariffs, Sawada pointed to Japan's pledge this year to invest $550 billion in the United States as an opportunity.
Moving on to world affairs, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner expects to brief EU foreign ministers on the Trump administration's Gaza peace plan via video conference, following a proposal by French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot as he arrived at the Foreign Affairs Council in Brussels.
The two U.S. officials were invited in order to provide an update on the implementation of President Trump's peace plan. On Ukraine, Barrot reaffirmed the EU's commitment to pressure Russia.
It's a precondition for the next step, which is a reparation loan, and we must take that decision within the end of this week to secure that Ukraine is in a position to continue its freedom fight, but also to uphold, the whole society, but also in order to show the rest of the world that Europe is a strong player. Otherwise, we will give in to the impression pictured or painted by the American president that Europe is weak.
He also announced new sanctions against Russian actors, including shipping companies linked to Russian oil majors Lukoil and Rosneft. Danish Foreign Minister Laszlo Rasmussen stressed the importance of reaching an agreement to fund Ukraine.
Taking a look at world sports, Romantic Warrior lives up to his favorite tag in the Hong Kong Cup at the Sha Tin Racecourse, registering a record fourth straight victory of the Group 1 race.
7-year-old Romantic Warrior, ridden by New Zealand jockey James McDonald, went to the front in the home straight to win by 1 3/4 lengths from Bellagio, Opera with Kwasana 3.5 lengths back in third. With a total purse of 40 million Hong Kong dollars, the Hong Kong Cup is the most lucrative 2,000-meter turf race in the world and currently the richest race in Hong Kong. Shum and owner Peter Lau will now discuss future plans, with another Saudi Cup clash with Forever Young a possibility. The Danish trained runner was involved in one of the finishes of the season as he and Forever Young went toe-to-toe in Saudi Cup, with Romantic Warrior beating just a nag.
To conclude, we take a look at more lighter news. The mercury drops to minus 45 degrees Celsius in Russia's Yakutsk, though some locals consider this temperature to be relatively mild in comparison to previous recorded lows.
The city, with population of some 300,000, is the capital of Sakha Republic in Russia's eastern Siberia. Yakutsk is widely considered to be the world's coldest major city. On Monday, the coldest temperature recorded in the Russian region, also known as Yakutia, was at minus 52 Celsius in the Tatinsky Ulus district. Motriana Terestina, a vendor selling frozen fish at a farmer's market in Yakutsk, remembers temperature of minus 55 degrees Celsius. She was asked how she managed to cope with the extreme cold. Yakutsk city officials said the schools had switched to online classes to help people cope with extreme cold weather, but despite the freezing temperatures, it was mostly business as usual for people of Yakutsk and across the region, with public transport operating as normal and businesses and companies operating normal working hours.
And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.
ಚಾಲು ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯವೋಡ್ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ರೀತಿ ಗೊಂಡುದಶವಾದ ಕೊರಣಿ ಅಲಿಫ್ದಾಲ್ ಮಂದು ಮಂದು ತುಂಡಿ ಗಾಫಲಿಫ್ ದೆವ್ವದು ಬೀಚ್ ರಾಹುಳು ದುಫ್ಫಾರು ಹುಳುದುಫ್ಫಾರು ಬೀಚ್ ಲವ್ಯಣ್ ಹಿನ್ನವರು ರೀತಿ ಬೀಚ್ ಹಾದಾಲ್ ನ್ಯಾವಾದು ಬೀಚ್ ಅಲಿಫ್ ಉಕುಳಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಬೀಚ್ ಕಾಫ್ ಹಿಮ್ಮಫುಷಿ